Welcome everyone to our every Saturday webinar. So tonight we will talk about RESP. And RESP is fall into this series of accounts. So number one thing I would like to share with you, the different accounts you can open in the financial institution. When we land in Canada, we will open a bank account, right? Checking account for daily paying bills and cash inflow and outflow. Saving account will be for the emergency funds. Then we also have saving and investment account. As long as we have our daily expenses fund setting aside, all those money we don't need for the short period of time or medium term or long term, we can save them and invest them into the right places so those money can grow for us. So what are those accounts? We have two major categories. The first one will be the registered account. For example, our RSP, we talk about that in January for your retirement. So it's a medium term to long term investment. Depends how long you are away, how far you are away from your retirement age. Today, we'll focus on RESP for the education. In Quebec, every child can get about 30% of the parents' contribution plus growth of the money, medium term or long term. When the kids turn 18, you can take out the money for the higher education. Then we also will talk about RDSP plan. That will be March 4th, our topic. Whatever you put in $1, government will give you 3 times. For the 20 years, altogether government grants will be add up to 90,000 for the vulnerable children who got disability, right? And also everybody is very familiar with tax-free saving account. So what it means is that whatever the money you put it there, you enjoy the growth with dividend, interest, and also capital gain. You can do it either short-term, medium-term, or long-term. So the beauty is that whenever you take out the money, it's tax-free. And also we have another category, it's called non-registered account. What it means, you don't need to register this or link your tax report with this account. We also call it open account. So it's a pure investment account. And also you can have a joint account for husband and wife. So when we understand the different accounts, then you will see, well, whenever I would like to do an asset allocation, you will see, well, where I should put money, how much I should put money into different accounts, because different accounts will serve the different purpose. R for retirement, E for education. Tax-free saving account, you can use it for the emergency fund as well. All right, so today we will focus on the one account, especially for the children, RESP. We all concerned about the children's higher education, right? So we do need to save up the money when the little baby is still still young, and then we will have enough time to accumulate the funds for their higher education. And today we will also talk about Rule of 72, how the money can grow. So I take all the information from Canada Revenue Agency website, www.canada.ca. So let's look at the basic facts first. Number one thing, what is registered education saving account? As it says, is for the education purpose. The maximum contribution from the parents per child will be 50,000 lifetime. Start a plan today, and then after 31 years, no more permitted contribution. After 35 years, terminate the plan. So we open the plan. We don't force our kids must go to the school at 18, right? Because they can go to work. And then later on, they go for the higher education, they can still use the plan because this plan can last as far as 35 years. Subscribers usually is a parent. They are also primary caregiver and contributors. Then we talk about promoter. Those are the financial institutions. You can have a group plan or individual plan. beneficiary will be the child who has a valid social insurance card number, and also the parent will receive educational assistance payment. So government grant, how it works. Number one thing everybody knows from the federal government is CESG, Canada Education Saving Grants, maximum $7,200. Then certain family can receive additional percentage. For example, the household income less than $40,020, they can have maximum till 20% additional grants. Based on what? Based on the parents' contribution. Canada Learning Bond is also available for the children first year when they open an account. So first year, the government will give them $500. Then the following years, $100 per year, then up to the age 15. Besides the government plan from the federal government and in Quebec, you can also receive extra. So it is called Quebec Education Saving Incentive. The cumulative limit will be $3,600 per child. So you can see this is the half of the federal grants. Then the rate is half of what the federal government gave it to you. And then you see you have the maximum amount, $3,600. And here, how the CESG, the federal government, calculate those grants. So we base on the income. So this changed a little bit, all right? So let's say 49,000 below, pretty much you will be able to receive the maximum grants, 7,200. And 40,000 to 98,000, and then you will have a reduce the grants, okay? So the basic grants on the first 2,500, this is the annual maximum for RESP. So for every child, it's quite equal. Whatever you put it in, 2,500, for all level of income, you will all receive $500, okay? And then the extra, we talk about 20% extra, only available for those household income lower than 98,000. So see how they do this. 25 additional amount of the CESG on the first 500 of the annual RESP contribution will be 20%. So the lower the income, you can receive more grants, okay? However, universal for every child is a 500 maximum grants per year from the federal government based on the 2,500 contribution from the parent. Okay, so I think it's better to give you an example. Let's say this a child is age 8, start to have a RESP account. Until age 18, there will be 10 years contribution. The parents would like to put in $200 per month. Every month, they continue to do this saving, then the whole year will be $2,400. So it's not exceeding the $2,500, the maximum amount, right? Then for the 10 years, the parent put it all together, $24,000. So let's calculate the federal and Quebec grants to this child. Federal will be 20% based on the parent's contribution. They will credit this to your account every year. And then when you accumulate for 10 years, how much grant from the federal government? $4,800. From the Quebec government, 10%, very simple calculation, it's just half of the federal plan, right? Of course, this child can also receive a $500 Canada Learning Bond. Then for the next 7 years, because she's already 8 years old. Then after 15, there will be no more Canada Learning Bond available, right? So there's only 7 years timeline. So this is the total of Canada Learning Bond. When you add up the principal, the government grants and learning bonds, Then you will see how much money they will have. Altogether from the government, 8,400. Maximize the plan, you can still contribute more, right? Then plus 10 years investment income, that is more. When you invest into a good portfolio, they will give you a rate of return. So you have more money into this account. And then a lot of parents say, well, I'm a new immigrant here. How am I going to finance this plan, right? So for the new immigrants, even though they haven't found a job yet, they say, well, I still would like to open the account for the children. Is it possible? Yes, because they will receive Canada Child Benefit from the federal government. In Quebec, they will also have the child assistance payment. So when they add up all those, average each child around, let's say, $400, $500, right? You can use half of this amount to finance the RESP plan. So let me give you a client scenario. So the parents use the child benefits to invest those amounts to RESP. So they don't need to take their hard-earned money into here, right? And they can also have the certainty that before age 18, they can continue to commit to this plan. Why? Because the government money keep on coming, you just use the same money to do the investment, right? It's not the money out of your own pocket. So this boy, age 0, newborn baby, received both child assistance from federal and Quebec government. Let's say he received $450 per month. Then the parents can put $200 into the participating whole life plan. So we talked about that last week. And now we will focus on how to maximize the RESP account. So here's an example. For the child less than 4 years old, we can put into a RESP. In IA, this company has a plan called Diploma. So let me show you how this plan works. The parent maximized $2,500 per year contribution divided by 12 is $208 per month for the next 18 years. Then the parent contribute the maximum $43,888 is less than 50,000 maximum room, right? Of course, they can maximize the 10,800, 7,200 plus 3,600. Equal to this amount, right? I didn't put into the Canada Learning Bond here because when the parents' income is too high, they might not able to receive that. Okay, so I just didn't put the $2,000 here, Canada Learning Bond. But for the lower income family, for sure, they will be able to receive that. Then the rate of return, we put it into a conservative estimation. So this is the amount we'll add it to the child's account over the 18 years. Then the diploma bonus, this company will give the parents a bonus up to 15% of their contribution. So extra $6,583 will be like a bonus into this plan. So when this child turns 18, the available funds for education is $94,833, close to $100,000, right? If the investment's doing better, they will be really like 6 figures available for the 4 years education. And also there's another plan. This is also a client scenario, and it's called My Education. For this plan, the parent can choose the portfolio they want to have. So this case is a growth portfolio. In the year 2021, when I did an annual review for this parent, and then I see the rate of return is 15%, 14, right? So see how they grow their money year to date. So that was the 2021, from the beginning of the year till we do the annual review in September. The last 6 months grows 10%. 1 year grows 13%. And then since initial purchase, this plan was open at the end of 2019. Then we do the annual review September 2021. You see the growth is 15.14%. It's a very good growth, right? So this is how we help the parents to be able to accumulate sufficient funds for the child for the future. And now I would like to talk about rule of 72. The rate of return matters. Why? Let's look at the power of compound interest. So Albert Einstein say this is the eighth wonder of the world. The rule of 72 says, when you use 72 divided by the average annual return equal to how many years your money can double. So let's say for 3 different portfolios. One is conservative, average rate of return is 4%. The other is a balanced portfolio, 8% rate of return. Then the growth portfolio, 12%. So you see the average return 4%, the conservative portfolio, the money would double every 18 years. So let's say this person put in $10,000 when he reached to the age of retirement will double twice, so become 40,000. And the 8%, it will double every 9 years. So at the age of 65, he will see 6 figure. And if the person don't need to touch this 10,000 at the age of 29, just put it as a seed money, put it there for a long-term investment. Then when he retire at the age of 65, you see the huge difference. It will be over $500,000. Why? Because the money can double every 6 years. All right. So this is the power of compound interest. That's why we always say it's very important to have a long timeline for the investment. And then another formula is very important, is about how to create wealth. So we say the wealth is not just the numbers in the bank account. It also needs to take consideration about the timeline, right? Then the rate of return matters. You see 4%, 8%, and 12%, how much difference it can come up to, right? We also want to help everybody to beat the inflation and also put the money into the account that give you the tax advantages, right? So when we consider all those factors, that is the way you create wealth. So it's kind of like a dynamic and complex procedure, right? That's why you need to have a professional to guide you with this. So let's look at the 2 different scenarios, Mr. A and Mr. B. Mr. A, like excitement. He would like to have the growth portfolio aggressive. Some year can grow to 40%, but the other year can drop 20%. All right. So the fluctuation is quite significant. But at the end of the year, 2 years, the net return 20%. The other person, Mr. B, he just want to have a stable growth of income. And then he would say, well, every year, give me just like a pretty much a stable return. I don't need to have too much excitement. Then he would say, well, 10% per year will be great. So this will be Mr. B. So we will look at this 2, do the comparison. It's really about the excitement of the growth. It's also about the net growth, the net amount, the we would say the actual amount or the number of the money can deposit into your account, right? So this is very important to see, well, what type of investor we are. So let me help you to have a bigger picture about the investment. A lot of people say, well, we know the market is always fluctuate. We are so scared. We don't want to jump into the market. So why I need to help you to look at a longer timeline? The reason is that you see this timeline is from 1934 to 2020, 86 years. So if you say, well, when I was born, I'm starting to do the investment, of course, it's your parents help you, right? And then when you grow old, like you will have like a good fortunes. So this is really to show you the power of compound interest. As long as you stay invested, like $1,000 in 1934, the market fluctuates. Nobody can control that. right? Because they go through like a World War II. They went through the technology bubble, also the 911, 2008 financial crisis, and we experienced COVID after that, right? So even so, you see, no matter where you put your money into, this is a growth portfolio, balanced portfolio, and conservative portfolio. You will see the trend is always going up, right? So this is the power of compound interest in the long run. So again, I would say 2 important decisions need to be made. It is that the time moving very fast than you think. So the best time to invest money is now, right? And we don't want the money limited our children's ambitions, especially when they go to a very prestigious school. They need a big funding, and the parent cannot look at the children's eyes, say, well, so sorry, we don't have sufficient money to send you to such a wonderful school, right? And also, when we build the habit of saving, it's very important to follow the guidelines. Don't save what is left after spending, because most of people will tell me, I don't have any money to save, right? However, reverse that, but spend what is left after saving. So whenever we have the income, we save certain percentage, let's say 10%, and then the rest of the amount we can spend. Then we build our lifestyle based on the rest of the amount. So we will be able to have the saving habit for the long run. Okay, so when we save money for 18 years, a lot of people also ask me, how I'm going to take out the money, especially when the kid is reached to age 18, right? The promoter, those are the financial institutions, can return your contribution to you tax-free when the contract ends. And there's no T-slips. That means what? This is your contribution, is your after-tax money put into this account. So when you take out the money, of course, there's no tax, right? Then there's a government grants. So this is from the federal Canada Learning Bond. Here is from Quebec, and plus all the earnings during those 18 years in the RESP. And this is called EAP. This will be able to pay to your children. And then T4A will be issued to the student, the beneficiary, your child. So what's the qualifications? The student is enrolled in a qualifying educational program. An educational program at post-secondary school level that lasts at least 3 consecutive weeks. And that requires the student to spend no less than 10 hours per week on courses or work in the program. So it's very easy to be able to qualify to take out the money, right? You are not obliged to go to a very prestigious university. You just need to enroll a program 3 consecutive weeks, and each week no less than 10 hours. Then you can get the money out. Okay, the next. So the post-secondary education institution include the followings: a university, college, or other designated educational institution in Canada. So we can also say, well, in Canada, you qualify, right? An educational institution in Canada certified by ESDC as offering non-credit courses that develop or improve skills in an occupation. For example, vocational training, right? And how about the institutions like universities outside Canada? So as long as they had the courses at the post-secondary school level, at which beneficiary was enrolled on a full-time base in a course of no less than 3 consecutive weeks. So the duration of the course, 3 consecutive weeks. A university, college, or other educational institution outside Canada that has the courses at the post-secondary school level at which a beneficiary was enrolled in a course of no less than 13 consecutive weeks. Okay, so those are the qualifications for the parents to be able to withdraw the money for the use for the child's education. All right. So the next, I would like to show you our platform. We are create a lot of long-term partnerships with many financial institutions, including the banks and also fund companies. We also help the family to protect their life, their wealth, their assets, right? And to open an RESP account, we work with IA, this financial group. I showed you earlier the plan. IA diploma plan for the younger child has a bonus. And then another My Education plan, the client can select a portfolio that they think suitable for their needs, right? So that is all I would like to share with you tonight. Thank you very much.